Hello friends, my name is Deepak Meena and you are watching Island Plus Tech Zone. In this video, we are learn about what is status code in HTTP response. So let's start. Status code are issued by a server in response to a client request made to the server. The first digit of the status code defines the class of response, while the last two digits do not have any classifying or categorization role. So move to the next slide for know everything about HTTP status code. Alright, so static codes are really important to understand at least the most common ones. So basically you have range the 100 through 500 range. So 100 is informational legally this it means the request has been received process is continuing. Its processing 200 mean that it was successful, so successfully received, stored, and accepted. The 300 range usually has to do with the redirection or further action must be taken. 400 range is a client error, meaning that the request doesn't have what it needs from the client. So let's say the server needs a name field sent in the request body and you don't send that, you are going to get a 400 error or somewhere in that range, and then 500 range is usually a server error. Okay, so the server failed to fulfill an apparent valid request. So everything seems okay as far as what you sent to the server, but you still get an error, something's wrong on the server side. Alright, now these are some important status code, I should say common status code that you should remember. So 200 is just okay. It means everything is it's mean everything fine. You make the request, you get the HTML page, you get a 200 response. 201 is okay, but it means something was created. So if you are creating blog post and everything goes okay, then you might get a 201 response. 301 is usually moved to a new URL. So this has to do with redirection. 304 is typically not modified. If you visit a page and it gets cached and it hasn't changed at all, then you will have 304, and then you will have a 300 response or status. 400 status again bad request. So if you aren't sending the correct data to the server, 400 is typically or unauthorized. So if you are missing a token or something like that, you are not authorized, you might get a 404. range we will not found it if you are looking for some page on the server that doesn't exist or some resources that doesn't exist. You are going to get a 404 and then 500 just an internal server error. This could means pretty much anything on the server side. All right, so those are the status code. Those are really important to really memorize and understand. So the last thing that is the status code are very important to in HTTP request and response method.